There's something about long hair that ancient cultures never took lightly. From the Vedic sages of India to Native American scouts and Taoist hermits, the choice to grow one's hair long was never a mere aesthetic preference. It was a sacred practice. You see, to those who came before us, hair wasn't just dead proteins sprouting from the scalp. It was alive in ways modern science has yet to comprehend. Every strand was believed to be a fine-tuned antenna, an organic filament capable of receiving subtle energies, spiritual frequencies, and even guidance from dimensions beyond this one. Imagine this: your body, like a cosmic receiver, constantly processes invisible waves, emotions, thoughts, signals from nature, and, as some believe, transmissions from higher planes of existence. Your nervous system is the hardware, but your hair? That's the fine-tuned aerial, the sensitive thread that picks up the faintest whispers of intuition. When ancient seers closed their eyes in meditation, it wasn't just their minds that listened, it was their entire being, right down to the vibrations their hair absorbed from the unseen world around them. There are stories, real accounts, of indigenous warriors in North America who, when forced to cut their hair after joining military units, suddenly lost their ability to sense danger. Before the haircut, these men could feel ambushes before they happened. They could track movement in the forest like they had eyes in the back of their head. But afterward, those instincts dulled. The US military, confused, eventually commissioned quiet studies to understand what had changed. What they discovered disturbed them. Something as simple as hair length was impacting perception. The experiments were buried. But the memory lingers, passed down in whispers by elders who never forgot. Across continents, the message echoes. In China, Taoist monks believed that the top of the head, where the heavenly gate resides, was sacred, and hair grown there enhanced one's connection with celestial energy. In India, yogis tied their hair in top knots to protect and amplify spiritual power. And even in the Bible, Samson's strength was in his uncut hair, not just physically, but symbolically. His hair was his contract with the divine, and cutting it meant severing the bond. But what if it goes even deeper than spiritual tradition? What if, in the quietest corners of the universe, there are intelligences, non-human, non-physical, that broadcast knowledge, insight, and awareness to those sensitive enough to receive it? What if our hair, like tiny wires, helps tune our consciousness into those frequencies? The idea might sound outrageous, until you consider how many civilizations, separated by oceans and centuries, arrived at the same conclusion without ever speaking to one another. Could it be coincidence? Or is there a hidden biological truth we've long forgotten? Now think about modern life. Everywhere you look, there's a normalization of hair removal, cutting, shaping, controlling. It's subtle, but it's constant. Schools, workplaces, even military service require short hair as a form of discipline. But why discipline the very part of us that connects to the unseen? Is it really just hygiene and conformity? Or is there a deeper reason we've been encouraged to snip the strands that may link us to something beyond the human? The truth is, we're electric beings. Our brains generate fields, our hearts emit measurable magnetism, and our bodies pulse with energy. Hair, positioned at the edge of our body, extending outward, is our most natural interface with the energetic world. When you cut it, you're not just changing your look. You may be interrupting a signal, muting a voice you didn't even realize you were hearing. And what happens when we ignore these ancient truths? What happens when we dismiss hair as meaningless, just another part of our body to style, dye, or discard at will? Perhaps the answer lies in the rising sense of disconnection so many feel today. We live in a time when anxiety and confusion are rampant, when people feel adrift, unsure of who they are or what they believe. Could part of that rootlessness be because we've severed something fundamental, an energetic lifeline that once helped us feel our place in the universe? You might have noticed this without realizing it. After a drastic haircut, some people say they feel lighter, but others report feeling strangely vulnerable, even lost. That's not just vanity speaking. Some believe that cutting hair disrupts your energy field, leaving you more open to chaotic influences, more prone to emotional instability. Without that protective sensory layer, it's as if your spiritual immune system is thinned. This idea isn't about superstition, it's about sensitivity. Hair, after all, grows from the scalp, one of the most nerve-dense areas of the human body. The follicles themselves are rooted deep in your biology, responding to hormonal shifts, environmental changes, even emotional states. If your emotions can change your hair, turning it gray from stress or causing it to fall out during grief, why is it so hard to imagine that hair might also be capable of receiving subtle information from your environment, or the cosmos? Let's go a step further. If hair truly acts like a biological antenna, then it might not only receive energy, it could transmit it, too. There are theories suggesting that long hair enhances your aura, expands the energy field around your body, and projects your intentions more clearly into the world. Some practitioners of energy healing claim that those with long, natural hair can more easily access altered states of awareness, or enter deeper states of meditation, channeling higher wisdom through what feels like a crown of natural wires reaching into the ether. The crown chakra, located at the very top of the head, is often described as a portal to the divine, the universe, or higher self. And what grows directly out of that chakra? Hair. Coincidence? Maybe. But perhaps not. In esoteric circles, it's believed that uncut hair acts like a spiritual amplifier, enhancing your connection with the cosmos. The longer and healthier your hair, the clearer the signal becomes. When you cut it frequently, the transmission weakens, like trimming the antenna of a radio, still functional, but static-filled, harder to tune. Could this be why some spiritual traditions prohibit cutting hair entirely? Why Sikh men and women keep their hair uncut as an offering to the divine? Why some mystics go into retreat and let their hair grow freely, wild and untamed, as if surrendering to something greater than the self? Now you may wonder, what about personal choice? Are you doomed if you enjoy short hair or feel better with a clean cut? Of course not. Intention matters. Awareness matters. If you cut your hair mindfully, acknowledging what you're releasing and honoring what you're keeping, the energetic disruption can be minimal. But if you've never thought about it, if you've always treated your hair as just another thing to manage, trim, and control, then perhaps it's time to reconsider. Because in a world that increasingly disconnects us from nature, from spirit, and from each other, perhaps something as simple, as silent, and as sacred as a strand of hair could be one of the few remaining bridges between what we are and what we're meant to become. So next time you run your fingers through your hair, ask yourself, what if this isn't just hair? What if it's memory, intuition, cosmic history encoded in keratin? What if each strand is a thread, not just of your identity, but of your connection to everything? The answer may not come in words. It may come in a feeling. A tingle at the base of your neck. A whisper in the quiet. A sudden knowing that somehow, you are far more connected than you've ever been told. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what someone doesn't want you to remember.